Versatile Mage. Chapter 473. Clearing the Giants. Fleeing Shadow. Illusion. Mo Fan used the dim light of the night to cast his shadow spell. As his body disappeared into the shadows, it swiftly split into another dark lump of human-shaped shadow and moved into the distance across the ground. When the white sand giants saw someone trying to escape in the shadows, they raised their sabers and chased after the shadow without hesitation. Meanwhile, Zhang Xiaohou quickly headed in another direction, branching away from Mo Fan's illusion and bringing another group of white sand giants with him, easing the party's burden. Time to do some cleaning. Zhao Mannion smiled when he saw the clumsy white sand giants following the script. Right away, Mo Fan's figure was engulfed in flames. With Zhao Mannion in charge of defense, Mo Fan did not need to worry at all. He could simply cast spells and draw star patterns. The simple, violent fiery fist, 9 halls was still the best attack against these white sand giants. As the energy gathered at the tip of his fist, the punch could easily overwhelm any white sand giants within 100 meters with burning lava. The fiery pillars sprang up from the ground, and their flames immediately spread across the white sand giants that had been shattered into pieces previously. The white sand giants, which initially resembled a white wall, had now crumbled to the ground, forming a pile of debris. "You sure are the violent one," Zhao Mannion exclaimed when he saw a third of the white sand giants eliminated in an instant. While everyone else in the party only had 2 elements and 4 spells, Mo Fan's 4 destructive spells were incredibly precious, without a doubt. The firepower he had was equivalent to a whole team. Utterly ridiculous. Zhao Mannion did not just stand there and watch. His hand held an ethereal sword that glowed a soft gold. It was one of the few attacking moves he had, an expensive death strike magic equipment. Aiming to vent all the grudges he had swallowed into his stomach, Zhao Mannion waved the golden ethereal sword at the white sand giant in front of him. Although the ethereal sword was only a transfiguration of the light element, its sharpness was comparable to many outstanding weapons. The slash alone cut the white sand giant in half, and more shockingly, it fired a slashing arc forward, cutting all the white sand giants in a straight line ahead of it in half. The white sand giants that were relatively lucky only had their arms or limbs severed instead. The power of the sword was shocking. Zhao Mannion had purposely slashed in the line where more white sand giants were standing, and the outcome was better than he had expected. However, he somehow felt it to be a pity. If it weren't for the fact that his cultivation was not strong enough, he would have brought some stronger death strike magic equipment at home. The 100 Shadows sword in the shape of a fan could easily wipe out the white sand giants with a single blow. "I knew you would have some trump cards still," teased Mo Fan when he saw Zhao Mannion attacking violently. "Another group is coming in your direction. Focus." Zhao Mannion was clearly not in the mood to be surrounded again. Mo Fan glanced at the white sand giants stepping into the remaining flames. These creatures were rather special in terms of how fearless they were, as if they knew nothing about death. That being said, he was more than happy to take all their souls. Before he was aware of it, another servant-class soul essence was refined, like parts continuously being fed into a machine, refining them into useful stuff. Mo Fan did not mind that the white sand giants kept on coming to die. "Maybe I can come here and farm endlessly when I'm stronger. I bet I won't need much time to achieve the 4th tier fiery fist," mumbled Mo Fan to himself as he was casting his spells. The souls here were better, and even though the creatures were harder to kill, it was not a death trap based on what the party had experienced today. After learning the creature's patterns, and with a certain strength, he could easily cash in the white sand giants charging in his direction. "Brother Fan, I'm bringing them to you. It's your turn to shine." Zhang Xiaohu's loud voice came from the communication device. Mo Fan turned around and saw Zhang Xiaohu bringing a huge group of white sand giants toward him, a massive trail of dust behind them. "Are you out of your mind? They will simply trample us into minced meat if they continue to run at us like that," screamed Zhao Mannion wildly. On the other hand, Mo Fan was extremely calm. His eyes were burning with blazing red flames. Zhang Xiaohou had clearly disrupted their formations, which led to the white sand giants knocking into one another while running at a disorganized pace. They were on the verge of pushing one another over. As Zhang Xiaohou brought them toward Mo Fan, a rock barrier suddenly rose from the ground. The rock barrier blocked the white sand giants, like a bunch of running bulls suddenly slamming into steel gates. Fiery Fist, 9 halls. Mo Fan threw his fist into the ground. The scorching fire pillars immediately appeared among the white sand giants, who had totally lost any discipline. The Fiery Fist, 9 halls was a large area of effect spell to begin with. Zhang Xiaohou had totally displayed his talent at aggroing the mobs, allowing Mo Fan to eliminate them all effectively. The soul remnants flew into Mo Fan's pendant. He could vaguely remember how he killed hundreds of giant lizards at Dongting Lake with a single swipe of his claw when he was demonized, but that was not a power he could control, after all. Meanwhile, he was enjoying teaming up with Zhang Xiaohou and Zhao Manyan. If he had such power and reliable teammates during the calamity of Bo City, there would have been no need to fear the one-eyed magic wolves, no matter how many there were. He could have greatly reduced casualties during the disaster. Some distance away, Lingling, Xingxia, and Chen Yi had already regrouped. Chen Yi was initially in a pinch, yet for some reason, the white sand giants in her surroundings had slowly disappeared, as if they had all headed for Zhao Manyan, Mo Fan, and Zhang Xiaohou. The 3 girls basically did not need to do anything. They were simply observing the battle from a distance. One of the 3 men had agility and speed to kite the enemy and disrupt their formation. One was an expert on defense and holding ground, preventing the demon beasts from getting closer, and one was full of destructive spells, a pure offensive magician. When everyone in a party was so outstanding that they could resemble a whole team of magicians, the combined strength was a lot more shocking. The white sand giants were split up into many groups, and even if they gathered together, unless they could break through Zhao Manyan's defense in one go, or kill Zhang Xiaohou who was running around like a monkey, it was only a matter of time until Mo Fan blasted them to pieces. Chapter end. Please guys like, comment, share, and subscribe.